welcome all of my friends to Couch Pilots, the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television, pilots of the past. My name is Jason, but I'm also known as the Black Magneto. And across from me is my Brotherhood of Pilots, Captain Philip Restasher. Good evening, my captain.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm very well. I really don't ever really ask me that anymore.
Really?
And sometimes people say, "How you doing?" And then they almost immediately just turn around and walk away.
Right.
They don't care. They don't want to know the answer. But when I see and hear you say that, you want to know.
Right. You don't use it as just a way to acknowledge somebody. Just say hey or hi. Don't say how you doing if you don't fucking care.
Yeah. You know,
I care.
And it's very easy to see. It's all over your face.
Hey, listeners, how you doing?
We care. Hashtag we care. How are you?
Yeah. Tweet us how you're doing at Couch Pilots Pod. We want to know every one of our listeners. Please, if it's the first time you listen to the show, if you listen to the show,
welcome back.
Welcome back. But tweet us. We want to know. We say, tell us how you're doing. Hashtag how you doing.
You're our frequent flyers. We care how you're doing. If without you, we don't exist. It's kind of like if a tree falls in the woods, right?
Yeah.
No one's around to hear it. Did it even happen? Did it make a sound?
Happen? I don't know.
Does this podcast happen without our frequent flyers listening?
No, it wouldn't.
It's impossible to say.
It wouldn't happen. And
frequent flyers is a phrase I don't want to just gloss over because, like you said, this episode and why people would choose the Dark Intruder episode as a gateway into this this madness that is our
because of a
program.
Twitter bot.
Right. I would like to say welcome to any first-time listeners, and just to let you know that if you continue to listen to the show, if you subscribe, if you tell a friend, you're automatically enrolled in something we call the Frequent Flyer Program.
Yes. Whether you download it, share a link, send us a fan feedback, all that information is tallied up using our pachinko machine. Okay?
Machines.
Sorry.
It's not like what's geese? No. What's the thing? It's plural whether you say it one way or another. I don't know. There's some word
moose?
out. Yeah. I can't remember what it is, but there's some word where like the plural is the same as the singular. It's not like that. You have to say machines. There are two pachinko machines.
Sure. But it calculates and it keeps track, and then you can turn those frequent flyer points into a surprise prize.
Goods and services rendered, right?
Thank you. Goods and services rendered. You can take a flight with us and be on the show.
Did you say signed aviator glasses?
No, I did not. Signed aviator glasses. We also have some autographed posters available.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because the Patreon didn't really work out as well as I thought it was.
It's not over yet.
Well, it's never over, but so yeah, that.
Get enrolled in our family plan. Do you have a whole bunch of people under one roof who are listening to Couch Pilots? Get enrolled in that family plan. You're gonna take advantage of our multiplier, rack up the frequent flyer points, and like I said a while ago, we're working with Amazon.com. You can now use your frequent flyer points as a form of currency on Amazon. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, you can only get snacks from Europe and the Middle East. That's the only thing they're good for right now. But it's evolving, and all the time we're adding new snacks from that region.
We got away from the Bitcoin thing. That thing went down the tank really quick, and we got away from Bitcoin. But we called Amazon and said, you know what? You guys are on the up and up. Mm-hmm. We're on the up.
Yep. Because we're in an airplane. We're going up.
Thank you. You get it up.
And you do everything in the middle.
And you bring it back down.
So we're involved with Amazon because we know it's a legitimate corporation. We got out of Bitcoins, but we got into Bit-O-Honey. Mm-hmm. Delicious candy.
Love it. They come from Saudi Arabia. Mm-hmm. But they're
born and raised
because we're born and raised in Compton. Speaking of Compton, it's making me sick. Everybody talking that crazy shit, claiming my city is a city they claim. Young brother, we're about to put salt in your game.
You say salt in your game? Is that like salt in your wound?
Yeah, I think so.
Pretty funny rap. I love rapping. I don't know. Did you know that about me?
Yeah,
I love. Like I don't really like listening to it, but I like doing it.
Today I listened to Digital Underground's Sex Packets, the whole album.
Is that the one with the Humpty Dance?
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, it is your chance to do the hump.
Yeah, and it also had on the other famous one on there was Do What You Like, ba-na-na-na-na. Dress How You Like.
What was up with that nose? That was a fake nose, right?
Yeah,
prosthetic. Was he missing a nose?
No, I don't think he was. I think he was either like crooked or was deformed, maybe, and so he just wore that over it. Or he had a big nose, and so he wore that over it to make it even more accentuated.
Very funny.
Sex Packets is a good song. I wish there was a real thing that's called Sex Packets.
Like if you go to McDonald's and you need something to dip your fries in?
No, it's if you want to have sex. Do
you open just a little packet and you have sex with it?
Sex Packets, $1 or $2. Just tell me how many for you.
Okay.
This time. This time.
I would want enough to reach orgasm.
Sure.
Whatever that equates to monetarily, I'm ready to provide that amount.
Speaking of reaching orgasm, we got a email from DSJ. He is still at Hedonism. He also because he's on vacation.
Did we mention that he was going to Hedonism?
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
That'd be weird if I brought it up.
I just want to make sure, because I know you and I we always talk about hedonism in general. You and I do,
right?
Just off air.
Well, yeah, he had originally asked me when he was planning his vacation. He goes, "Should I go to Desire or should I go to Hedonism?" And I'm like, "Dude, Hedonism is the younger crowd. Mm-hmm. Desire is a lot better place to go, but it's more of the not older, but middle-aged people or older. But you want to have a rocking good time with flamethrowers and dancing party and all night long, go to Hedonism." And he emailed us. He asked for an extra week's vacation.
Did he take DSJJR there?
I think baby's mama.
Okay.
Is watching him.
I was gonna say, because I didn't know if there's, like you said, there's one for young people and there's one for.
Well, I didn't mean young. I didn't mean that young.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I didn't know if there was like a baby version of hedonism.
that would be weird. All they do is play micro league baseball.
They have it on a continuous loop.
Yeah,
someone's twitching out micro league baseball.
It's a tournament.
Jesus.
On the big screen.
Oh.
So that's because we haven't talked about DSJ in a couple weeks, and that's because he's still down there, and I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I hope he's going to have stories.
I know what he's doing.
What do you mean?
I'm following him on Instagram, man.
Oh.
I am seeing some shit.
I had not even thought about following him on Instagram.
Yeah, follow him on Instagram. He's down at Hedonism, and he's doing, they have these bamboo shoots of beer, and there's one where he is just, like, his eyes are rolled back in his head.
Oh, man.
Like, if someone said DSJ is dead, I'd be like, that totally sucks. I believe it from the pictures I saw, but I know he died having a great time.
I just hope he took a lot of condoms with him.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
Because he has the sheepskin ones. He said he can only use the sheepskin ones.
Yeah, and I think he had goat intestine ones too. So a lot of different condoms. That's what they used to use back then. That goat intestines.
Yeah. Nobody knows how the sausage gets made.
No one wants to know.
Right.
Right. But Hedonism is a great resort. I once flew over Hedonism. I'd never been there. But from what I could see, people seem to have a great time.
Yeah.
So I think he's down there living it up. I see his Instagram pictures. They have great buffet items.
No, they get 4 different restaurants.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Each restaurant that they have is better than the last.
Oh,
and if you put that in like a continuous loop, like it's infinitely great.
They have like a lot of pool parties and games and stuff, and they have the bar where you're in the water and you're standing at the bar in the water.
They change that water once a day because of how disgusting it gets. Mm-hmm. People can get STDs just from being in the water. It turns out
it's a wild ride.
Yeah,
but I hope he's having a good time.
He deserved it. This is his vacation he took.
Right, and he's going to come back and he's going to be working for a little while, and then he's going to go on tour with Get the Let Out.
Mm-hmm. This is their busy season.
Yeah,
he is he's not here a lot, but the past year or two he's had a heck of a time, and he's really worked hard for us. So I say that he probably deserves this vacation.
Yeah, definitely. Well, because he lost his job at McDonald's.
Yeah, no longer whitewashes those trays there, unfortunately. He is working on his book a little bit, and he told me he was going to get 20 pages a day done while he was at Hedonism. We'll see if that's true. I can't believe that'll happen.
I seriously doubt that.
So, that's fun. It's always nice to get a little update on DSJ, our tarmac worker. Of course, it stands for Down Syndrome John, and he has Down syndrome. Who cares?
Yeah, that's irrelevant. I mean, we've talked about this 100 times. That doesn't change how we feel about him.
The only reason I say Down syndrome at all is because that's part of the initials, DSJ, Down Syndrome John.
Right.
All right. So people are like, what does DSJ mean? Well, it means that. And it's nothing. We're not joking about him or making fun of him. He's just a dude with Down syndrome that works for us. And honestly, his life is way more exciting than mine. I don't know about you.
My life is not exciting at all.
My life.
I do this podcast, and that's about it.
Yeah. You don't even seem to have fun doing that.
Sometimes.
What's the worst part of doing this podcast?
Doing the show notes.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it? Oh,
I wish DSJ could write and like do stuff like spell and stuff.
All he'll use is crayons,
right.
And we just can't do the show notes in that fashion.
Right.
But something else that is kind of in fashion is fan feedback.
Fan feedback. We got some fan feedback here, and we also have a voicemail which we haven't had for a while. So kudos to this voicemailer right here.
I haven't heard it. I'm so excited.
Hello, Captains. It's your boy, Kevbo Slice, a.k.a. Kevin. I just wanted to give you guys a call and tell you that you're doing a great job, Scott. No, I've been watching a lot of the pilots along with you guys recently. For no particular reason. I just decided that I wanted to watch Knee-High PI, and ever since then I have been watching every pilot that you guys do, and your work is admirable. What can I say? You're doing what needs to be done in watching these and flying the friendly skies. So yeah, I just wanted to say I've been doing that, and you guys, I don't know how you do it, but you're good at your jobs. But also, yeah, I just wanted to, I know we're planning on taking a trip here in the summer, so I wanted to kind of cash in, well, not really cash in, but kind of rack up some more frequent flyer family plan points. Because Gus, it's tough to bring a dog on a plane, but once you get those frequent flyer points, especially the family plan, it makes it a lot easier for us to get him on the flight. Anyways, smooth sailing to you boys. And that's about all I got going on.
Very, very nice.
What a good boy.
Yeah, and Gus is his dog, but he has proven that Gus listens to. He shouldn't send us photo.
So, yeah, photos don't lie, just like Shakira's hips.
Shakira, and it's funny because you talk about how it's hard to get a dog on a flight, but not as hard as it is to get a peacock on a flight. Am I right?
Ridiculous.
Would you ever allow that on our plane?
As a captain of industry and of this plane, absolutely not. Okay. Would a peacock be coming on this plane?
There won't be no peacock on the on this plane. On this plane.
Kevin is like. First of all, I love the boy.
Love him. Him.
Second of all, God bless you for watching the pilots too, and don't think we don't know that. It's good for you to say that verbally into the phone hotline so all of our frequent flyers can hear it. But our pachinko machines track that you're doing that as well.
Right. Because we have your IP address.
We have all of your information. And you know what? We're not going to lose it or abuse it. So what I'll say is that listening or watching these pilots that we watch gives the viewers, or the listeners rather, a bigger appreciation for what we do.
Right.
And then he also said, "Great job, Scott," in there. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
You know what that's from? That's from Saturday Night Live. It's a really funny, obscure bit.
I thought maybe he was just thanking his karaoke podcast co-pilot.
Saturday Night Live will every once in a while take a classic movie and show you like outtakes of actors that tried out for roles. And I can't remember who the actor was, but for the role of Doc Brown, because Doc Brown from Back to the Future would say, "Great Scott." Okay. And then the guy who was trying out for the role didn't understand that he was trying to say it, so he's like, "Great job, Scott."
Oh.
And it is funnier when you watch it and not when I say it.
Okay. I've never seen the movie, so I wouldn't have got it.
You've only seen a handful of movies, if my memory is correct. Is that right?
Yeah. Eddie and the Cruisers.
Encino Man.
And Encino Man.
And Tombstone.
And every Al Pacino movie
and
except Dick Tracy.
Did you see Biodome?
I was in the room. My mom watched it.
You're in the vicinity of Biodome?
But I did see Jury Duty.
Yeah,
and
That's
Son-in-Law.
So you're a big Pauly Shore guy.
And the one where he's in the Army now.
What's that show that we watched that had Pauly Shore in it? B-Men.
Yeah, you liked it. I hated it.
Oh, that's right. You hated it. But Pauly Shore was in it.
Oh, yeah. He was one of the third lead actor.
He
was third on the call sheet.
He was not even. You couldn't even give him a shore bump for that, huh?
No.
No. Okay. That's fine. Any other fan feedback?
Oh, shit,
we have today?
I was so excited we actually got a voicemail. I forgot that there's more. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
All right, to see. This one, I can't do.
It's tough, isn't it? Computers are touch tough.
Touch tough. Lori Garcia, this is from Season 12, Episode 3, which was Captain Fathom.
Oh, Jesus.
Lori says, this episode was hilarious. Talk about two guys doing meth, and impersonating the Micro Machine guy was the best thing about this episode. Love you guys. Pick sorta related, and don't call me Shirley. And it's obviously from Airplane.
Airplane, yes. Is that a film you've seen?
No. And it said, glad you liked it, dear. Fun change for a bit.
Did you know that I am actually
You're a robot?
That I'm a physical robot?
No, I did not know that.
Beep beep boop beep. My mom's uncle is the Micro Machine Man.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. And he honestly did a lot of meth, which I think is why he could talk that fast.
Oh, I was gonna say we should have him do like.
He's dead.
Oh, my bad.
I would love to have him do things, but he can't. He's dead. He's a dead guy now.
This is from Lori Garcia.
Thank you, Lori.
I didn't say thank you yet because it's from her. Another one is from her.
We
have to thank him each individual one if we do two in a row.
Yes.
Fuck, she is so
because
tight.
each one
high maintenance.
Each one is more frequent flyer points.
That's true. Season 12, Episode 2, which was the state of 43rd Annual Halloween Special, Lori Garcia says, great pod... Oh, I thought we were doing a little thing there. Do the pooch thing again. Lori Garcia says, great podcast as usual. I love the state. Funny as usual. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good work. So more frequent flyer points for you, Lori Garcia. Love ya. First Lady of Air Force One.
We love you. Good job.
Me love you long time.
Me love you boarding time. Ding dong.
Turn it off.
Ding dong.
Just don't push start until I'm ready. Now you can.
Ding dong. Boop boop beep. I am a robot. I am a physical robot.
Hey guys.
Gay robot.
I love you. I think you're the most beautiful man I've ever seen.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the inequities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who, in the name of charity and goodwill, shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers, and you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you. Ezekiel 25:17.
Amen.
Couch pilots.
Was last week's biblical as well?
Oh, no, that was just something my mom wrote to me. Today we watched the pilot episode of Dark Intruder for the year of our Lord 1900 plus 65. Hoo-ha! Great year.
1965.
Oh my
love
God.
it. Love it or leave it. You better gain weight. 1965 is great.
You better
All right.
gain weight?
Huh?
You
Yeah.
better... Wait, that's Vanilla Ice lyrics. You love Vanilla Ice, right? You fucking quote them every goddamn episode. But that is a Vanilla Ice lyric, right? Is he imploring people to gain weight?
You better hit bullseye. Kid don't play. Yeah, I guess so. Better gain weight. Better hit bullseye. Kid don't play. Yeah.
Do you think he's talking about like becoming a more girthy person,
or
or like carrying drugs?
I think it was.
You better carry
packing
drugs,
heat.
sir.
Better pack some heat.
You better put a gun in your pocket. To me, rap is so like metaphorical.
Oh,
just be blunt. You know,
Like
tell
smoke
people
a
what you think.
blunt.
I want to have sex with the girl and do all the drugs. I put a gun in my pants. You know what I mean.
Got my rims going round in circles, bumping that bass.
I love loud music, and I love to say that I love to shoot in a gun style way. Right? I mean, let's talk about what we really like. No metaphors.
Right.
Gain
Yeah.
weight. Yeah, I don't think Vanilla Ice wants people to get fat.
I don't think
He's
so.
talking about carrying drugs or a gun on him.
Sure.
Just fucking say it.
Just say it.
Just fucking.
Remember when he
Just
shaved
fucking
his
say it.
eyebrows, lines in his eyebrows? How stupid is that?
Dude, come on.
We thought he was cool at the time.
He was cool at the time. He was getting laid this way and also
Go
that way.
ninja, go ninja, go.
The ninja rap. That's a career low, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh boy. 1965, a year I wasn't alive, and actually at the time I was -16. I was still in heaven with Christ.
I was only -10, so I was winning.
Winning what?
Huh? The race to get here get on Earth. I was in line way ahead of you.
Yeah, it's like I tried to like peek up over to see, and I couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
That's how far ahead you were.
Because I was like, Jason.
I was like, Blake, I'm a baby. I'm a baby, Blake.
I will do it, Jason.
Blake, I can see you're a baby.
Captain Jason. I miss you. I can't wait till we can take a flight together.
This is when people turn it off.
I'm glad you said it because I was going to keep going.
I got 10 more minutes of baby material. We were in the negatives. There's not a chance in heaven or hell that we have any idea what happened in this time. So
No.
we have to go back in time in our minds so we can properly digest Dark Intruder, which, in case you have forgotten, is what we're here to do.
It's 2018. This was in 1965. It was
Yeah.
53 years ago.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to judge it based on today's standards?
Not even a little bit.
What they have back then they didn't have
Oh,
now?
I can tell you a couple things they didn't have.
What?
Is Band-Aids,
Band-Aids?
Courtney Cox.
Courtney Cox? Will Smith?
Yeah.
and CGI.
Yeah, none of that stuff existed back then. Hey, remember the Black Eyed Peas when they said you're 2000 and late because it was 2008?
No, I never listened to the Black Eyed Peas. You're supposed to eat those like on New Year's Day for good luck, but I know.
You're supposed to boil them. You shuck them and then boil them.
Shuck jiving, then you gotta shuck jiving, then you gotta shuck jiving, then you gotta. Don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Sato indo weto fallen. There must be something inside.
Those guys, my Micro Machine Man used to party with those guys. Meth Erware.
Wow.
Meth was running rampant.
It's amazing at anything done.
I don't think so.
Let's get things cracking.
Oh, merciful heavens. 2018 was going to be the joke.
Sorry.
19 plus 65, race riots break out in Watts, California, leaving large parts of the city burnt and looted and 34 dead. Jesus. It was on August 11th.
That's crazy.
Race riots. There's a crack up at the race riots, apparently.
That's shit you don't want to fuck with, man. Like,
no.
It's 1965. We should not even be talking about that now. Unfortunately, we're still talking about these kind of things because of discrimination and stuff. But dude, it's all pink in the middle.
I suppose it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not what you said isn't untrue.
Yeah. Do other unters as others do unto you.
Ezekiel 16:43. Race riots, not great.
No.
There was some, I think, also in California with the OJ verdict, right? They were
the Rodney King thing too.
Yeah, they were rioting out there because they said, we have to let OJ go,
right? Because
he's a black man who cut a woman's head off,
right?
And they said if we convict him, then they'll burn the city to the ground.
Yeah,
it was a political move,
right? Oh, definitely. Yeah. Hey, plus the glove did not fit,
so they had to acquit,
right?
In St. Louis, Missouri, the 630-foot tall parabolic steel gateway arch is completed.
Oh, okay.
The gateway to the west.
I've been there.
Have you been in there?
I've been in it. I did not go up.
Why not?
When I looked and saw those little itty-bitty cartridge things they put you in, that they were from 1965, it was the original cart thingies.
Right.
No way.
Do you know that it's never fallen over, and there's thousands of people that go in there every day?
No hair, don't care. I stood at the bottom, and we were outside, and we laid in the grass and looked up, and it was amazing. That was good enough for me.
Okay, as long as you're happy. Was everyone else disappointed in your that you were frightened to go in there?
No, my wife wouldn't go either.
Was she scared too?
Yeah, because those little. Have you been up there?
Yeah.
Those things are crazy.
Well, it's a parabolic arch,
and it takes forever.
So you're not in there sideways going up. It goes like up into the side.
I understand, but those things were so old and crotchety. There's no way I would get up in there.
No, I was trying to empathize with you.
Did it take a long time to get up there and back?
It didn't take a long time. It took longer than a normal elevator would take. But I was trying to empathize with you by saying it is a bizarre elevator ride to the top.
I don't like heights. Yeah, see, I don't like heights.
You know what? To me, it's just a mind game. Like, no one is.
I'm a captain of a plane, and I don't like heights.
Yeah, it's a real problem.
I don't mind getting up in a plane.
Well, it's because you just do everything in the middle.
It's true.
That's what people don't know about this. It's probably funny it's never come to this point because I take it up, right?
Yeah, and I do everything in the middle,
and then I take it right back down.
So that's why heights don't bother me.
Because when I am going up and back down, you have your hands over your eyes and you're going la 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 la.
Yeah, I've been on a commercial flight. Besides being a pilot, I've been on a commercial flight a lot, and it doesn't bother me. Look, I look down. I like to look down.
Yeah.
But you asked me to get on a roller coaster, I'm like, fuck you.
Wow, that's crazy. I don't understand the logic there. The Voting Rights Act guaranteeing African Americans the right to vote becomes law.
That's so crazy.
1965?
That's crazy.
It is crazy, right? Like, just 16 years before I was born, black guys couldn't vote.
That is insane.
We suck.
As American people?
We fucking suck.
Yeah, we do.
Good God. It's terrible. We bring them over here in boats, and we beat the shit out of them, and we
make
them
them
to
work.
and they say that you can't even vote for another 150 years. Jeez. What the fuck is wrong with us? Look, hey, I'm a white guy, so I don't have a lot to complain about, but still, it's pretty bad.
Right, it is pretty bad.
Good Lord. Interesting facts over. No, that's not interesting facts.
Alexander Hamilton was against slavery, by the way.
Was he? All right, well, good for him. Is there anything else you like? What's your favorite quote from Alexander Hamilton?
Oh man, that is very difficult.
It is. He had so many great things he had to say, right?
Sure. Well, I'll get back to you on that one.
Well, maybe
there's so many of them.
Maybe you can get to me on this right away, and that's why do we choose to watch Dark Intruder?
It's 3 simple criteria. It's one we use for the past 120 episodes.
This is the groundwork. If you go back to listen to episode 1...
This is what we started with.
Yeah, everything has changed. Things have evolved, the stories have gotten deeper and more entwined, but this has stayed constant. Mm-hmm. This is our Northern Star.
Right. This is what the show is built on. 3 criteria. A, it had to be a pilot that never went to series, only one was made. Whether it aired or not is irrelevant. Number 2, we had to find it on the interwebs. Mm-hmm. Can't watch it, can't find it, right? And then number 3...
Well, let me say something about finding it. Thanks for hitting the brakes on that. You ever see that picture online? It's of a glacier, and then it's got the icy depths of the ocean, and they got a huge ice cube in there, a big glacier, massive glacier. It looks like a mountain. And then you see the top of the glacier comes out of the water, right? And then, but underneath it, it's much bigger.
Oh, yeah.
It's way bigger. And they say the top part is the internet that you know, that you surf on a daily basis, and below that is the dark web. Ooh. There's the top part, which is exposed by the sun, is a very small part of the internet that you're aware of. But there's thousands of times bigger than you could ever imagine in the dark and the deep web. That's where all of these pilots are. All these deep, dark, hidden away pilots that I have to search for. They're out there on the internet, but I really have to go under the icy cold depths to find them.
Do you think we would get more listeners if we went to the black internet? Or what is it called?
Black internet. Mm-hmm. So maybe we should, there probably are podcasting services on black internet. We should check that out and start streaming through there.
I'll write it down.
It's Black. Go ahead and write it. Black.
Blake.
Yeah, that's Blake.
Oh.
Maybe we should start a Blake internet.
It would constantly be changing its mind.
It would just be a link to X Hamster is all it would be.
it would always be doubting itself. Like you type something in the search engine and you're like, are you sure?
Are you sure you want to go to usatoday.com? I don't know.
Are you mad at me? Is it just me or is that guy being an asshole? Like it's just you. Are you sure?
Are you mad at me? No, I just want to go to a fucking website.
Are you mad at me? Do you like me? I wasn't funny today, was I?
People always say you're funnier than me.com. It's also free. That's the third pillar.
I said it was free.
All right.
Oh, no, I didn't. I put on the brakes.
All right.
It's free.
It's free. I like the rule of 3 is a good rule, I think.
Sure.
Recently, a lady said to me, hey, I want to start a podcast. And I want your advice because you're really smart. I said, first of all, I'm not that smart. But I tell you, this is the 3 things you need for a podcast. And this is why. Tell me if you agree with this because we haven't talked about this. I said you need consistency. Mm-hmm. All right? That means you figure out how often you're going to release and you stick to it.
Right.
Sound quality. You can have consistency and you can have all the greatest stuff in the world, but if you sound like shit, no one's going to want to hear that.
Right.
And number 3 is content. You have to be able to deliver with some regularity the content that makes sense and people want to consume.
Right.
I said those are the 3 pillars you need. What do you think? That's pretty good?
Yeah, that's perfect.
I think so. That's pretty good. I think it was good advice.
I think you did a good job. High five it.
I appreciate that. Don't bring that Kevin Clark fucking high five bullshit in here. Well, do I love his voicemail? Absolutely. But when he brings that,
I can't even do it.
It sounds like I don't know. It sounds like a clown, like someone stepping on a clown's nose.
Yeah, I like it though.
You do like that?
Not on my show. I like it.
Yeah. Keep that on your fucking show.
Hey, don't even have to cha-ching it. Just go ahead and use
it. You own it. It's yours. Take it with you. Where can you find the entire episode of Dark Intruder? You can find it by subscribing to Couch Pilots and Apple Podcasts. That's where I listen to all my podcasts, is Apple Podcasts. Where do you listen to yours? Stitcher?
I use Podcast Addict.
Why doesn't... is that made by Android? Because you have an Android-style phone, right?
That's correct.
Does Android not have their own version of the podcast app?
No, they don't.
All right, whatever. But you say Podcast Addict?
Yeah, because...
it's what's above the main floor in a house.
Right. The reason why Android doesn't have one main thing is because there's all these other ones built already.
Yeah, but Apple just said, you know what, we got the best, you know? There is the rest, but we're the best.
I got you.
I don't know. That's just my.
You want to whip up an app later on?
Let's whip up an app. We'll do it on the Blake internet.
Are you sure you want to?
Yes, Blake. Christ. You can download Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app of choice, including Blake Internet, and then simply click one of our classically blue links in our show notes. Or go to the app for Daily Motion and check out all the commotion.
Flight attendants.
I think this has been a great show so far.
You know what?
I think we're really doing good.
I think we're probably going to get 7 more listeners.
I really like the way that this episode is going so far. Oh, boy, look at that. We're getting off the ground. Cover your eyes.
Are you sure I can do this?
Open them up. Now it's time to do everything inside the middle. Summary of the pilot. Police call an occult expert to help solve a series of murders.
Okay.
Occult. Occulto.
Occulto personality. Occulto beer. Occult. I've been listening to a podcast about cults.
Really, man, you're in the dark net. You listen to some dark shit.
I listened to one about true crime.
Atlanta Monster, you listen to that?
No.
Big E turned me on to that one.
I listened to True Crime Garage. I listened to Cults, and then I've been starting to listen to a brand new one called Conspiracy Theories.
I think we should. Those are they interesting? Do you really glean a lot from it?
Yeah, I do. I learned a lot. Mostly those cult ones. I'm amazed how many fucking crazy people there are in this world.
Yeah.
And like, if we wanted to, we could start a cult. I think we are charismatic enough to do it.
Are you okay? So you think you've learned enough from this cult
from all these cult stories? Yeah,
that you could start your own.
Oh yeah.
See, I'm listening to one right now about a serial killer, and I think I could be a serial killer.
Oh yeah, the true crime one. I'm like, I know how to get away with it. I know how to get away with crime now.
Right. And then I think we should start.
My problem is there's not one person I want to kill.
Are you sure I can murder you?
There's three people I want to kill, not just one. So I haven't figured out how to do all 3 of them at once.
You know what? You keep at it, buddy. I think you'll figure out how to murder those folks. I think we should start another podcast just called "I Read Your Wikipedia Page," and it's exactly that.
That's funny. Just randomly. Draw an RPG. Do your RPG and figure out which one you want to do.
Yeah, RNG.
RNG.
Well, this random number generator, right? RNG. Or we'll just take your suggestions and we'll just read it. I hope no one says World War II.
Or the Founding Fathers. I looked into that one. That's a hole that you never get out.
That's a big heft, huh?
Yeah.
What a load.
This pilot
may have been rough, but we got some interesting facts.
Oh, interesting fact time. Do you want me to?
Please.
Interesting facts. It's just a segment. Name of the segment. This show is built on the back of his back. He's drinking.
My tonsils.
You want me to pick them off the floor?
I have tonsillitis.
Ooh. Got lice on your tonsils?
Yeah. I don't know how those bugs got in there.
Told her to shave that shit up. Anyway.
Pubic tonsil lice.
Hashtag pubic tonsil lice. Send us your gifts.
Send us your tonsil lice, won't you?
Interesting facts. Jason has bloodied his knuckles by scouring the internet to find the behind-the-scenes stuff of this pilot. All right? He went toe-to-toe with the black internet.
Blow for blow.
And he found this stuff out. He's going to read these off to you. And if you find them interesting or don't find them interesting,
I don't care.
He does not give a fuck.
I don't care. I don't care.
Is that Ringo?
I don't give a damn.
Hey, some of the feedback we've got is we want more impressions.
Are you sure you don't care?
Hey, Willie, bring me the cat.
Oh boy, we've hit the pocket.
Come on, Peg.
That's a terrible Al Bundy.
Anyway, so whether you find these facts interesting or not or irrelevant, do not discuss these facts with someone else. Don't taint their experience.
That's the area between the nutsack and the butthole.
Mm-hmm. Tainted love. Whoa. Tainted love.
Don't touch me. Please, I cannot stand the way you treat me.
Yeah, so just mind your own business, keep your thoughts to yourself, and listen to these facts and shut the fuck up.
Mind your own business. Originally a pilot for a TV series to be called The Black Cloak. The series was not picked up, and this pilot was released as a theatrical feature.
Yeah. I saw on YouTube, but that's not where we watch this.
You know what to do, too.
But if you search on YouTube, you just see the trailers for it.
Yeah, they're out there. The trailers are out there. An uncredited Norman Lloyd provided the voice of Malachi. Now, you may know Mr. Lloyd from Dead Poet Society or Alfred Hitchcock Presents. Fact.
I think I've seen Dead Poet Society. They all stand up. All the kids stand up on their desks because the guy kills himself.
That's right.
Is it hung yourself or hang yourself?
It's hanged, oddly enough.
Is that like texted? I hate when people say texted.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking annoying.
Texted is not right. It's taxed.
It's just text.
Right. That's the past tense, same as plural.
Yes.
Look at all these texts I got. Right? Open up your textbook to page 87.
Right. You don't say, I texted my wife. I text my wife.
All right.
She texts me back.
Yeah.
Not, did you get the texted that I gave you?
Yeah, did you?
Did you like that text message I gave you?
It shows you haven't read it yet. It's almost like it's Pat from SNL.
A little bit.
Can I tell you a secret real quick?
Yeah.
So I'll read one of these facts, and I'm flesh and bone, just like you.
Sure.
I want to comment on these facts, but right when I'm about ready to comment on them, I just say fact.
Okay.
And that's how I know I can get through it.
We'll help for the listeners who have
I
trouble
get
with
by
it.
with a little help from my English language. Yeah. The show was deemed too scary and violent for mid-'60s television. NBC sold it to Universal, who sold it to drive-in theaters as the second feature on a double bill that also included William Castle's I Saw What You Did.
Last summer?
No. This is the prequel.
Okay.
This is when Jennifer Love Hewitt was only boobs and hadn't grown a person out of them yet. That was from also 1965.
They said it was going to be too scary for television.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's right. So they had
Black people couldn't vote, but this is too scary.
It was a strange times. The show, in plot and character, it greatly resembles Chamber of Horrors, which was made the next year and had a similar fate. So maybe another pilot. I don't know.
Okay. Fact.
It's a fact, right? It's a fact. Boy, this could get some convoluted. Do you want the convoluted facts?
No, I'm not into convoluted.
Okay, because there's one fact that's really long.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, last fact. Dark Intruder was released on DVD by Universal/TCM as one of their selects series on December 7th, 2015 on a double bill with 1964 psychological thriller The Nightwalker, which I can only assume is a lighthearted romp with some folk walking at night.
Yeah. Huh. Okay.
Interesting facts over.
Those are very good. I appreciate you taking the time. I'm sorry I didn't mean to cut you off on the long one, but
no, it's fine. It really
we're
delves
doing
into
so
some
many
shit.
impersonations that we don't have time for the long ones.
Says you, right? I mean, we have all the time
Say
in the
you,
world.
say me?
We'll say it together. Twitter responses.
Twitter responses. Jason had to get some Twitter responses.
No, I didn't. They're all dead.
Hey, this is The Voice. I'm here interrupting one of your favorite podcasts to tell you all about mine. If you're a fan of craft beer, independent music, pop culture, and laughing at inappropriate things, then you should check out Drunken Lullabies, brought to you by Distilled Brewery. New episodes are available on draft every Sunday, so you can spend the Sabbath getting tipsy along with us. We try beers, play songs, and laugh our asses off. So go on, indulge yourself, and become a part of Drunkamaniac Nation. And if craft beer and music aren't your thing, you can listen to Drunk at the Movies every Wednesday, brought to you by Iron Spike Brewing Company. Listen to me and my friends provide our own alcohol-fueled commentary tracks to some of our favorite movies, unedited and uncensored. You don't have to be drunk to enjoy these movies, but it doesn't hurt. Until next time, this is The Voice saying, may your music be loud, and may your beers be cold.
Great show. Breaking news. Hot off the presses.
Tom Petty's not dead again, is he?
No, he's back alive.
Oh, yeah!
We just saw this. It is Gus's birthday. He on Instagram.
Oh, we give props to hip hop. So Gus, hip hop, hooray ho!
I tell you what, this has never happened before.
Yeah.
Gus
Wait a second.
500 frequent flyer points for having to be your birthday. Ow! Sorry, it's 2 weeks late.
Oh, happy birthday to you, Gus.
Happy birthday, Gussie.
Just fantastic. Just wonderful stuff. Maybe not as wonderful, though, as Drunken Lullabies.
Yeah, it's a great show.
A great show.
Informative.
A great program, right?
Definitely.
It is informative. What was that? Was that your Alf impression again?
Hey, Willie! It is pretty good.
It is. That is good.
I just need to learn how to say something else.
Yeah. Like, what does Alf do? He eats cats, right?
Right.
He hates Mondays, loves lasagna, right?
He just yells at Willie all the time.
He's got a nose that looks like a weird wiener.
That's what she said.
This is a universal picture, right?
Right.
Black and white, spooky orchestral music, lit candles, and a bunch of eyeballs in the clouds.
Yeah, and just right off the bat, if you follow our Classically Blue link, it's a good copy of this. Like a lot of stuff we watch in the '60s, and the black and white stuff. This has good quality, sound and video.
Yeah, because like a year ago, we started diving into the '50s and the '60s.
Right.
And some of it's tough.
Right.
You're right. This is very crisp and clean. And it's a very good version of it.
Takes place in 1890 San Francisco, which I didn't even know San Francisco was around in 1890.
That's right. It was never not there. We just had to put buildings.
It was never not funny.
There was all the credits are right up front, so
Sure.
it takes a bit to get into it, but all the credits are front loaded.
Yeah, and you'll see Leslie Nielsen, a very young, handsome Leslie Nielsen, is the star of this show.
You know who he looks. You know who a young Leslie Nielsen looks like? It looks like if Will Ferrell had a baby with Willy Wonka.
Yeah,
it's exactly that.
Very good. Very good.
I came up with that myself, and I am 100% right.
You're damn right.
So he really is very handsome here. You're right. 1890 San Francisco, Cobblestone Street. You got a horse-drawn carriage coming down the street.
You got that theremin going.
What's that?
At the beginning.
The theremin. That's right. I would love to be. Let me ask you this: if you could play every instrument in the world, masterfully play any instrument that you came in contact,
just one?
No.
Oh,
any
okay.
If you could do that, or speak, understand, read, and write every language in the world, what would you do?
I would take the language because I could travel.
Yeah, but would you travel? Have language will travel.
Well, yeah. If I could speak manganese, I'd like to just. You know what? I'll go over to Thailand.
And do what?
Shit goes down over there.
So, but you wouldn't want to be able to play the instruments, huh?
No, I'd rather be able to communicate.
Oh, I'm sorry. And the third one is, or you could fly.
Well, I fly now.
But like without a plane.
It's funner. It's safer with a plane. All of a sudden, you hear a woman scream loudly, just like every other horror show.
Yeah, she looked like she's running through the halls of a mansion, and there's something growling.
Yeah,
chasing her.
It's a very. Here's something you're gonna need to know. It's a growl, and this quote unquote monster. It's a growl with like a hiss, with like a screech in it. It's all mixed together.
It's pretty off-putting.
It's very off-putting. And she's running down the like an alleyway.
Yeah.
And
I was thinking, we might get to see like a wolf man.
Right.
It's not. It's just a fella. It looks like.
All you see is really the silhouette.
But it's a clothed person, so it's like it might be a human being. And then the guy gives her a kung fu grip, and she dies.
Yeah. Everybody was kung fu fighting back in 1890.
Oh boy, were they ever! And then like on the ground, you see like a snake thing is on the ground.
I missed that.
Well, it's kind of a weird little like it's the little statues.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like a monkey head.
Yeah, it's like a snake monkey.
It's a weird little ivory statue.
And then the newspaper says the fiend strikes again.
Right.
So someone is out there chopping broads up.
Sure, it's one of the first serial killers, I'm assuming.
Probably so.
Serial killer.
Hot off the heels of the Jack the Ripper. And then you see Leslie Nielsen. He's wearing like some kind of cool smoking jacket or something. And he's got a midget servant.
Oh, yeah, which is really cool. And his house is like all kinds of trinkets in it and weird stuff. And it's a very elegant place.
Yeah.
And he's very dapper. He is a dapper.
He's really smooth. And yeah, you're right. Him and some lady are having witty banter.
Evelyn. And her voice is fucking annoying. It is so high. I would rather hear Victoria Jackson than hear this lady. It was very annoying. I hated it. But that's Evelyn.
Yeah, well, I think part of the annoyance of her voice to me was the fact that she had like a bit of an accent, and also she was
excited.
she was using like big words, and just like it wasn't like it felt very disingenuous. But I looked past that because of her rocking bod.
Yeah, she had a rocking bod.
She was wearing some form-fitting shit, and this is going to get an Evelyn bomb.
Oh!
Bada bing.
Ham.
This is an Evelyn bump.
Right.
She got a big booty bump, and I'm going to give it to her.
All right. And Leslie Nielsen is playing Brett Kingsford. Is that what you have his name is? Brett Kingsford?
That's his name?
Yeah.
Yes, Brett.
Brett Kingsford is his name. And he's just a rich, suave, debonair dude. Evelyn knows him because she's getting married to his friend. Mm-hmm. But Brett gets this letter.
I would never hang out like at my house with just my friend's fiance.
Yeah.
That seems weird.
It does seem
like
super weird.
A lot of my friends are married, and I do love their wives because...
But you don't want to be alone with them because it's awkward.
We'll all hang out. All of us will hang out.
Yeah.
It's fine. But I'm not going to be alone with them. That's a bizarre thing.
Yeah.
But maybe he feels he's all right because he's got that midget hanging around.
It's true.
And the midget's dressed to the nines, too.
Oh, yeah. He and Brett opens up a letter, and I couldn't read it. Could you read? I didn't have enough time to read it.
I didn't read it fast enough, but it's basically the police station saying, hey, Brett, why don't you come down here?
See, I didn't know that.
But inside his house, like he says, very elegant. Over the mantle, he's got something that says, everything ends in mystery. But I think it's in Latin or something. And then he's got a mandrake plant, which is funny because we did Mandrake the Magician.
Right, the mandrake plant, like it feeds off, like it like not feeds off,
it's
but
sensitive to occult influences.
Right, so it'll shake and stuff. I don't know.
Leslie's like, hey, everyone, shut up! I'm hungover. And then that's when I thought this girl has a tight bod.
Right.
And then McCullough is the name of the midget, and he keeps sneaking up. Like he's quiet and he maneuvers through things, and he's very he anticipates what you need.
Right.
He's there. So yeah, the letter's like, hey, come on down to the police station, won't you?
Come
please?
on down to the police station.
So he comes down there to see the commissioner, and he goes to the front desk and he's like, hey, the guy wants to see me, and he's like, I don't know who you are, and he said, why don't you wait over there? But then the guy gets on like it looks like primitive technology, like almost like
intercom,
a PA or like an intercom. But like, what is he using? Is it just a tube?
Yeah. And it says like, hey, Commish, there's somebody that says he knows you and has to want to talk about a dancer or something that you know.
Yeah.
And so he comes in. So basically, he's going in disguise because he doesn't want people to see him going in helping out the police.
And you find out very quickly that what he is he specializes in obscure acquaintances in the occult. And so him going to the police station, he doesn't want the word out that the police are looking into these bizarre avenues to help them solve mysteries.
Right.
So he goes and he talks to the commissioner, and
he just can't be human.
Yeah.
For all these certain reasons. And then they talk about the statues some more. You see, every murder, there's this statue, and it looks a little bit different each time there's a murder, right?
Yeah. Something in the back keeps getting pushed out or something.
Yeah, I
can't
didn't
remember.
understand that either.
So he leaves there, and he says he sees a friend outside, and it's the friend, I think his name is
Robert.
And he's going to marry the broad we saw earlier, Evelyn, who gets a bump. And they're talking outside, and then Brett looks across the street, and it's like he's some sort of mirage.
Yeah, he's having a spell. I wrote that he's having a spell.
Okay, that's a good thing, yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of his blurry vision, and things are kind of spinning a little bit.
I almost put like kind of a mirage or something, but a spell is better.
I think he seems to be off for some reason.
He's like, Robert, let's get some dinner or something tonight, 7:00. He's like, all right.
Yeah, I'll come. He's like, Brett's like, I'll come to your shop at 7:00. He's like, yeah, let's do that. And then Brett goes and is talking to this Asian guy with, the typical karate Asian guy with a really long, skinny mustache that goes all the way down to his ass.
Yeah.
And he's got super long fingers.
And he shows the fingernails. Yeah, it's really long. He shows him the ivory sculpture, and he's like, this is Sumerian. This is what it means. And the guy has long fingernails, and I think the Chinaman is actually a white guy playing the Chinaman.
Yeah. And it's a Sumerian demon, and it's a statue, and it's like 7 spokes. He's like, supposedly they're supposed to have 7 murders for each one of these spokes.
Well, 1 murder for each spoke, so 7 altogether.
Right. That's what I said. Fuck me, right?
No, you said 7 for each spoke. So I just want to make
sure.
Did
I really?
Yeah, I just want to make sure we're clear that we're not talking about 49 murders. We're just talking about 7.
So Brett goes to pick the statue up, and it scratches him. A statue scratches him.
Yeah, it's made from apparently mummified flesh, and it almost seems to be living, he says.
Right. And he goes, I keep it in this deep, dark place to kind of contain it.
And the Chinaman says, well, I don't know what you're involved with here. This statue, this is what it means. This is the ritual we're doing. Please be careful.
Yeah.
Please just be careful. And
I think he says, please be careful.
Be careful long time.
Be careful a long time.
he leaves there, and there is a delightfully fluty kind of soundtrack.
Sure, yeah.
Just like a nice little pan flute.
He's whistling down the street. He's happy.
So Brett's on the street. He's walking. He's flirting with local girls.
Oh yeah,
he is. He really is very smooth.
He gets slinging all kinds of 1890 pussy.
And then when he's walking down the street, there's a weird clawed hand that you see in the sewers.
Oh yeah, I did say that.
Like the shots from inside the sewer, then all you see is this weird clawed hand, like grab the grate. And anyway, Brett makes his way through the town, through the tunnels and the streets, and then it seems like he's being followed. And then he arrives to meet Robert, but he's not there.
Yeah, Robert's not at his own store, so he goes inside.
Yeah,
there's like a piece of paper, like a note on the door that says, "Hey, Brett, not here. I'll be back in a few minutes. Go ahead and just come in my store that I left wide open. It has all this stuff in it."
So he does. He enters the building, and while he's waiting, he unsheathes the sculpture and he starts looking around. He hears and he sees movements, and he pulls back a curtain. Oh, and it's just like a bird cage.
Right. But then you start hearing that screechy. Oh, it's a horrible sound.
That growling sound.
It's
from
very
the beginning of the
off-putting. It's got like a nails against a chalkboard, along with some growling, and then it's like a hissing. It's off-putting.
And it's that guy from the beginning, and he attacks him.
He attacks Brett, and so Brett's fighting his way, trying to get this guy.
Seems pretty strong.
Yeah, he's very strong. And so Brett throws this candelabra, and it goes through the window of the store, and the monster, whatever it is, runs away, and all these people come in.
The broken glass, I think, attracts the attention of people outside.
Yeah, the townspeople.
So people come in and what's going on? And that's when the guy leaves. And Brett's not there, and I'm thinking, or not Brett, but Robert's not there. Went to meet Brett. Right. I'm thinking, is Robert the bad?
I thought it was Robert was the monster as soon as he started having a spell.
Yeah, and so the murderer escapes. Robert then arrives. I was like, maybe he just ran around the corner or threw off that cape or whatever, and it's like, there he is. And Brett's like, this is what happened. And I think, and this is where I'm thinking, Robert is kind of a suspicious character.
Right. I thought why it's attacked when Robert, you didn't see Robert and it's attacked. That's when the monster attacks and he's having these spells. So they go to the doctor because Robert's like, hey man, because Robert shows up. He's like, what happened? He's like, I attacked, and there's this big, huge scratches on Brett from the monster. He's like, let me take you to my doctor, Dr. Baudet.
Kevin Burnett, I think.
Kevin Burnett.
And so he takes him there, and he's getting patched up.
He was great when he played for the Lakers.
Oh, was he? I never saw that. I love the Lakers too, which is bizarre. He takes him to the doctor, and he notices there's a sculpture in the doctor's office that's also Sumerian. It's similar to the sculpture he has, so he's kind of making a mental note of this.
Yeah, and this is where you got to really start paying attention to the plot of this.
You're right.
It's just like last week. There's a point to where
it gets a little convoluted.
It gets a little convoluted, and so the doctor used to know Robert's mom, and they went to Siberia together, or
they went to Baghdad.
Went to Baghdad,
and they knew the murdered nurse, who was the woman who's murdered in the beginning, and they discussed their time in Baghdad, and something about the nurse had a boy from Baghdad that she had adopted, but no one knew, and she kept him locked away.
No, Robert's mom had Robert in Baghdad.
Okay,
the nurse stayed because, like I said, she adopted a deformed child or something.
Got it.
Yeah, and
that makes sense. So they go back to Brett's place, and he has
another spell.
And he does have another. He's having dinner with him, and the mandrake plant is kind of Eddie Money shaking a little bit. And then he has another spell there, and something's happening, right?
Right.
Robert stands up and he starts walking as if he's under a trance,
like it's pulling him.
Robert's not acted bizarre. I mean, he seems suspicious, but he hasn't acted like this yet.
Right. He's like sleepwalking.
Yes.
And he's like, and Brett keeps going like, hey, and gets in front of him. He's like, hey, Robert, hey, buddy. Yeah,
he says, I think you're sleepwalking, man. And Robert's like, I'm sorry, I have no idea what happened. I didn't know what I was doing.
Right. And so then Robert starts to confess to Brett. He's like, there's something going on. I don't know what it is yet. But all these murders that have happened are people that I know. All the victims are people that I know.
Yeah.
And I think he's starting to believe that it is him because he's having these spells.
So maybe he's doing it while
he's doing it while, And Brett's like, you're fucking stupid. That's not happening. He doesn't believe him.
He's like, I've woken in places I don't know how I got there. I try to fight whatever this is, this trance, but it pulls me in. Right. I can't control it.
Brett's like, don't worry about it, dude. It's no big deal. It's not you. And Robert gets pissed off.
Yeah.
He's like, I come to you as a friend, telling you about my fears, and you act like you don't give a fuck?
Yeah.
And Brett's like, whoa. Slow your roll, buddy. And so Robert gets pissed and leaves. And then Brett opens up this like secret door, and there's the little midget guy.
He just hangs out in there apparently.
Yeah, and he's like, "Go follow Robert."
Yeah. Well, you'd notice a little fella following you, wouldn't you?
Right, I think so.
So you're back in the streets, and Brett or I think Brett or Robert, I can't remember. Robert's handed a flyer. It's for Professor Malachi, and this is the Norman Lloyd voiceover that was uncredited. And the next day, the lady from the beginning, the Evelyn, who was with Robert, she's with Brett, and they arrive at the psychic, and Robert is already there. So somehow they went to go see the same guy.
Right. I think that what I understood is Evelyn and Brett set it up to where he would go see the professor.
Yeah, maybe so, yeah.
That's the way I understood it.
Well, the psychic is like a weird hooded man with a crystal ball, and he seems to know.
And you can't see him very well. You can't see. All you see is like.
He's shrouded in darkness.
Yeah.
And like he seems to know some of what's going on. Oddly, like how would you know these things, really? And so Brett slides the sculpture over to the psychic to kind of show him what he thinks and what he can do. And he seems to know a little bit about it. Then they leave, but Robert wants some answers about himself, so he stays. He said, and the guy in the costume, the hooded costume, says, "You'll know everything by the time that you're married."
Yeah, the night of your wedding, you'll know everything.
Which is quickly approaching.
Right, and so they leave, and then they come to find out, there's another murder.
Well, but before they leave, before that scene's over, you see at the very end
the hands.
He has clawed hands, just like the killer. So it's probably him.
Right. So then we find out that the doctor has been murdered.
Yep.
Then at the crime scene, this drunken sailor comes on, and the commissioner takes him. He's like, "I gotta see the doctor. Commissioner takes him in. It was Brett dressed as a sailor again in disguise, so people wouldn't recognize him.
Yep. So they look around. They go into the crime scene. They look around. Brett noticed some of the doctor's case notes are missing, and apparently there were very similar murders overseas. And Robert was in the U.S., which seems to exonerate him from the crimes.
Right.
So like he didn't do this because he was here, and so they kind of use math to map out the murder timeline. They say Robert wasn't in this area at this time; it can't be him.
Right. And so they start going through calculating it was 108 days from the first murder to the second murder, and then
they see a pattern.
Yeah, they see a pattern, and he's like, okay, there's only one spoke left on that
7-spoke theory. Right?
Yeah, and so they're like, so the commissioner's like, okay, well the rehearsal dinner's coming up.
Math wise, we think the next murder is going to be tomorrow.
Right, which is on the night before their wedding.
Yep.
And so the commissioner and Brett are talking about it. Commissioner says, all right, we're going to put bodyguards all around during these because she won't recognize who these people are. She won't know that there's something going on.
Yep.
But this is the way we can watch everything.
And right then, the lights in that room go out, and the murderer was in there the whole time. And then he jumps out the window and escapes. And then the next is the gala or the wedding rehearsal, whatever, is taking place. A bunch of fanciful people arrive there. And then you see the killer's claw emerge from a bush. So you know this event is happening, and you know the killer is in striking distance.
Right. But isn't this right? Okay, no, go ahead.
This is where the police, like you said, they're in disguise as attendants of the event. And Robert, kind of continues to act a little bizarre.
Right. And isn't this then where Brett goes through this whole spiel of what he thinks happened with the Siamese twin thing?
Not yet.
Oh.
No, Brett runs into Robert, and he is acting weird. And then he kind of, I think he's talking to him, and he just kind of ignores him and walks away like he's kind of in that trance again. And then next you see Brett and Evelyn, they're dancing together, and they discuss the recent events, including, they mention here twin communications, about how, if there's identical twins, if one of them gets hurt, the other kind of knows it.
Yeah,
they have some weird
Robert wasn't a twin.
That's right. I mean,
spoiler alert.
So Brett is thinking, and he's excuses himself to discuss his most recent theory. I think he goes to talk to the commissioner about it. He's there, and then the professor with the scar that talked to Robert. He was not about to. What does that say? It was he says the professor was. He thinks he was some sort of twin that was removed from Robert.
Because Robert he knew that Robert had a spot that he had surgery on. Well, come to look, it's crazy details. Basically, he comes up with the theory that they were Siamese twins when they were over in Baghdad. They got cut in half, right? Mom came home with Robert, and the nurse lady who originally died stayed back with this deformed child.
And now the deformed twin is going around getting rid of any of connections to his past to take over the mind of his perfectly formed
Take over
twin.
the mind of Robert. Because he wants to live in Robert's body.
Yeah. And then you find that there's a black guy who assisted the professor. He had like the wrap around his head. He's the guy who handed out the flyer earlier and worked with the professor. He is found dead, and they think he's the seventh spoke now.
Right.
Is this guy? And then Professor Malachi, the guy with the claws, he meets Robert in like a fog-filled room, and he is hideous.
Oh yeah, he's really gross.
This is the first time his face is revealed.
Right.
He looks like fucking Eric Stoltz from Mask.
Right, and that's when he reveals that he's a twin, and he basically just reverbs the stuff that Brett said in his theory.
Kind of really confirms all of it. And he says,
Right.
you know what? Now what I'm going to do to you, you're standing right in front of me. Yeah, we're going to swap minds. My mind is going to be in your perfect body, and you have to live in this fucking
Yeah, he starts
dump.
talking about just a bunch of Satan jibber jabber too during it.
Yep. So Malachi begins some sort of incantation, and Robert is like kind of paralyzed. And then somehow Brett and the commissioner know exactly
where they're at.
Where this is going down, and they go there. And when they arrive, Robert and Malachi are struggling. And then Malachi goes off the balcony, the guy in the cape and the deformed one, he assumingly to his death.
Yeah, good. Okay, no problem. Malachi's dead. Everything's fine.
They leave the tower, and then Brett stays and kind of looks around, and then finds a couple of those statues.
Right.
And so that later that night, the party is letting out, and then that's kind of the end of that scene, right?
Yeah, and then the next scene is Evelyn and Robert somehow like in a graveyard making out, like they're start getting ready to kiss. And she's like, I couldn't believe what happened, right?
Well, right. I mean, right after that, we go to the commissioner's office, and Brett's like, I know everything seems to be wrapped up, but something is weird. Something is missing, right? And that's when Evelyn's in the graveyard with
Yeah,
Robert.
why are they kissing in a graveyard?
It is. I don't know why they're there. It's bizarre.
And so
this pilot is heavy on the fog. I'd say.
She's like, are you sure you're all right? And he's like, yeah. And they kiss, and as soon as they kiss, she can tell that it's not Robert.
Yeah, and this is like...
And she screams again.
Yeah, and this is like, oh my God, something happened. Whatever Brett was saying, I think it happened.
Right.
Like the mind swap happened. And then again, somehow Brett knows where they are, and he finds Malachi, who in the body of Robert, choking Evelyn, but Brett arrives just in time to scare him off, and then they engage in fisticuffs.
Fisticuffs, then the commissioner comes up and shoots Malachi.
And there's more fog, much more.
More fog. Robert falls to the ground and morphs back into Malachi. Which, to be honest with you, like it wasn't that bad for 1965 like special effects. It wasn't that bad.
It took a long time because it was still, and they were like they do it, and then they'd add a little makeup and prosthetic, shoot it, add a little bit more, keep adding it. It was fine, I guess. So they go. The funeral is happening now, and Brett is rejected from the funeral, and the scene is shot through a mirror. Like, because Brett returns home, he's like, "Yeah, they kicked me out of the funeral," and I thought it was kind of cool how they shot it through a mirror.
Yeah.
Anyway, the commissioner doesn't believe anything supernatural took place, and he kind of threw Brett under the bus.
Right.
Here. And this is. You expect this to happen because the whole time he's like, I can't have any real affiliation with you. So if anything supernatural even rears its head at all, of course he's going to deny it. So, and then the mandrake plant shakes.
And he tells it to chill out.
Yeah, he's like, shut up, you fucking plant. No wonder it was not on TV, huh?
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
But we got a little taste of why this didn't work. They said it was too violent and graphic for television at the time, so they moved it to the theaters. But that doesn't mean they couldn't tone it down going forward to make it more suitable for television. Sure. So there had to be other things in play why this didn't work. What do you think those are?
Oh, God. Where's this going to go? You've solved the whole dark intruder. You've solved what it is.
Yeah.
It should have been like the Brett Kingsford show, or like something to do with
the Kingsford Files.
The Kingsford Files. Brett should have been the main character. He kind of was, but he wasn't. But it should have been. If you were to make this into a series, you can't just have one thing that he kills, one monster that he helps figure it out. You know what I mean? Like Sherlock Holmes. You know what I mean? It should have been more like a Sherlock Holmes thing for the cult and demons and stuff.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because this story, you killed the bad guy. The first episode. What are you going to do after that?
I assume there'd be other bad guys, other things, but I see what you're saying. You maybe want more of an arc. Like, oh, he got away
Just
this
change the
time.
title of the show.
Yeah. I mean, maybe they changed it when they moved it to the theaters, too, because they said it was originally going to be called The Black Cloak, which kind of is almost a reference to Malachi and what he wore.
Right. It needs to be something. The title needs to be a reference to Brett because he's the one that's going to go on the adventures.
Yeah, honestly, and again to reference B-Men, what a horrible title that was for what I thought was a pretty damn good pilot. And again, just calling this Dark Intruder may not be a good name for this pilot.
Right.
So I don't know. I think it moved along at a pretty good pace. I think it was about 45 minutes long, if I'm not correct. Leslie Nielsen, I thought was good.
He was the best actor. Robert was a horrible actor in this, but no, Leslie Nielsen. Like it was a completely different side of Leslie Nielsen. I only know him from Airplane or
Naked Gun
or whatever.
Files. Yeah.
Yeah. So as a goofball, but here he's a young, suave-looking dude, and he's smooth in this.
Yeah.
His acting is smooth.
You're right. He brought. For something that very easily could have been
cheesy,
cheesy. I was gonna say it could have been just purely serious and dark. He brought a suaveness and a lightheartedness with his character that helped balance it out. I think pretty well. If it had survived, like you said, you felt it was pigeonholed, maybe only by its name, but I think there are plenty of other ways. This
I mean, like I said, Brett could go on all kinds of occult and demon adventures.
Yeah,
but the title pigeonholes it to this storyline.
Yeah, I agree with that. And maybe that's what they just said, you know what? This is not being picked up by TV. This is a one and done thing. Let's change the name of this to better fit, exactly what the story is, because that's all anyone is getting. But other people saw this, not just us.
Did you think the conjoining twins thing was kind of weird too?
I thought they jumped to conclusions pretty quickly on what happened.
I think they gave it away. Like when Brett starts talking about it, that wasn't the way to give it away. Like the reveal should have been between Robert and Malachi, which it was. Like the next scene, why did Brett give it away right before they give it away?
Well,
give it away.
Give it away now. Well, maybe I don't know. I think it's maybe the audience just needed to know. And you said maybe Leslie Nielsen was the main character. I think absolutely he was the main character. So you have to have the hero figure it out so he can come and interact with that conflict. Yeah. You can't have the hero over here while the main conflict is happening over here. They have to intersect somehow. So it made sense. It may, like I said though, it may have been like too big of a jump for him to be like, oh, this and this and this and this,
right? This
and this. It's like, you probably need a few more pieces of information before you just jump exactly to what happened. But that's neither here nor there.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
I'm on the internet.
Dark Intruder. I got my own internet.
Yeah, you get the Blake internet. Dark Intruder is on the internet. It's very specifically IMDb, and there's a score. Ooh, buddy boy, what's the score?
7.3.
It's a 6.4.
Oh, fuck.
One away from your go-to. That's too funny. That's from 201 ratings.
Wow. So a lot of people saw this.
1965. That's a lot for one back then.
People in 1965 usually don't know how to use a computer now.
Yeah, it was a series of punch cards, I think, in levers back then with 2,000 parts. Critic reviews. Critic Leonard Maltin wrote that Dark Intruder featured intricate plot and exceptional use of the time period, blending with suspense that made it a one-of-a-kind movie. High praise from Leonard Maltin.
All right, Leonard.
Viewer reviews. Excellent atmospheric oddity that was before its time. This is all the way back from 2000. Leslie Nielsen is energetic, to say the least, as Brett Kingsford, ostensibly a playboy to everyone he knows in the late 19th century San Francisco, but there is more than meets the eye. He's an expert on the occult. He's somewhat miscast in this film as a playboy, but when he throws off that persona, he's fantastic. The foggy atmosphere of San Francisco is used to great effect to enhance the supernatural aura of the film.
Maybe a little overly foggy.
Maybe a little bit too much fun. Cries out to be on DVD. As a second feature in 1965, this arrived with little fanfare, is probably dismissed by most viewers. I saw this once in the theater 41 years ago, and I would love to see it again. Why not release this on DVD? Well, guess what?
They did.
DFLN-117. You can see it anytime you want if you download the app for Daily Motion.
Check out all the commotion.
You're damn right. Enjoyable shocker. Dark Intruder stars the incomparable Leslie Nielsen as Brett Kingsford, an occult expert who is brought on to help the police investigate a series of ritualistic slayings. In each case, an ivory carving of a gargoyle is left at the scene. Brett has a friend and a reporter named Robert Vandenberg who is deathly afraid that he might be responsible, given that he is prone to blackouts. Punctuated by a shuddery score by Leo Schifrin, Dark Intruder is definitely good of its kind and worth a look for any fan of the genre TV of this period, or Leslie Nielsen completists.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So, honestly, there's a lot more reviews for this,
that's
which
awesome.
is interesting.
That's awesome.
It is, and most of them are fairly positive, despite a mediocre score. Which, you know what I find? On IMDb, everything seems to settle between like 5 and 7.1, like 7.2-ish.
Right.
Like everything.
Right.
Like, which leaves almost no merit to any of it.
Right.
But we still discuss it.
Of course.
And we still discuss what we had to think.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
Good. Just like Campbell. Remember that when they said, good.
Fruit salad. Yummy, yummy. Yummy, 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 yummy. Fruit salad.
That's a great song.
Oh, great band.
Which band is that again?
Huh?
Is that the Beatles?
The Wiggles.
Oh, the Wiggles. Great band. The pilot needs to be rated. The pilot only agrees to be on the show if we give it a rating. And the pilots are usually pretty cool.
They're pretty laid back.
They're like, you know what?
Give us a rating, we'll let you do us.
It could be good, it could be bad. It's totally cool as long as someone is paying us some mind, right? 1 to 7 is the scale. That's the scale. That's the scale.
Yeah, taken from the classic series Wings. 1 is a Roy Biggins, fat fucking asshole, and 7 is Brian Hackett.
And 7 is the best and 1's the worst, right? Every pilot we've ever watched, save a very select few, have been within that range. I don't go outside the range.
No.
I don't have that kind of hubris.
That's rude.
You've personally, and even Dee Dee from Australia, have ventured into the dark recesses of Zero and beyond.
We've had to.
Well, I mean, so says you. I respect.
She's in a different hemisphere. What are we supposed to do?
I guess
her Zero could be our 1.
You're right. Just like it's similar how the toilets flush, right?
Mm-hmm. I wonder if that's true. Dee Dee, the toilets really do flush the opposite way? And have you ever seen a scorpion?
Yeah.
I want to know.
The two things most people want to know about Australians. Did you ever see the episode of The Simpsons where they go to Australia?
I never watched Simpsons very much.
Oh, boy, you're missing out. So they go to Australia, and they say, hey, we even installed this thing on your toilet to make the toilet flush the other way so it'd be more like home for you. And it's this giant machine that does its only function is to make the water go down the other way. Captain Philip, rest assured, I turn to you as I so often done in the past. How do you rate Dark Intruder?
I'm giving it a 5. I enjoyed it. I was happy with the quality, both video and audio. Leslie Nielsen did a great job. Yeah, I mean, I had a good time. The costumes and the sets were great. I'm not sure why they were in the cemetery about ready to kiss. It still confuses me, but no, I loved it. I loved it. I mean, I didn't love it. There was things that weren't good about it.
Why don't you marry it? If you loved it, why don't you marry it?
Because of Evelyn's voice.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Give it a 5.
I also give it a 5. Boom, boom, boom. Evelyn bump. I'm giving it a 6.
Woo!
This is very nice.
Yeah.
I like this show.
Yeah.
There was a few parts where they jumped to conclusions or things seemed slightly wonky, but Leslie Nielsen was fantastic. Just like you said, I had never seen him in a role like this.
Right.
He was suave and lighthearted and funny, but not the same kind of ridiculous slapstick shit that you would see in like The Naked Gun.
And this was before he obviously drank too much alcohol because he didn't have a big, huge, swollen schnoz.
That's true. He didn't have a massive gin blossom all over his face. No, this is well paced. You have good characters, a plot that moved along at a steady pace. There's not much to dislike here. It wasn't perfect by any means, but honestly, 1950s, 1960s, the quality does matter. And, and it was totally good. It was a great copy of that. So I thought it was pretty good. I think it could have gone forward. You could have made some more shows with this. Leslie Nielsen was really good.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say. And with that, I close the book on Dark Intruder, and I will never mention that pilot again.
Ever.
But won't you please join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of Revenge of the Nerds?
Oh.
Here's a little something.
Booger.
Here's a little something to whet your whistle. Did you see the Revenge of the Nerds movies?
Parts of them.
You remember when they said hair pie?
Yeah. That was a vagina.
What they say, they took little tins and they put naked ladies' pictures at the bottom of the tins and just filled them up with whipped cream and sold them to people so they could see naked ladies. Pretty good idea. You writing that down?
Innovative. Put that on the Blake Web.
That's how Lambda makes money. So here's a little something to wet your whistle. Unaired pilot based on the movie of the same name. Lewis, Gilbert, Booger, and Wormser are kicked out of their dorm by the Alpha Betas, so they join the Lambda fraternity and get revenge on the jocks. You can find the entire episode of Revenge of the Nerds by subscribing to Couch Pilots and Apple Podcasts, or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then simply click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes, or you can go to YouTube.
And you know what to do, too.
Bada bing, bada boom. Call me on the phone. Beep, boop, boop, beep. 910-745-6871. 910 Pilots 1, right?
Yeah.
Call me.
Go to couchpilotspodcast.com. All the links to our social media, including our Instagram. You can email us from there. We want to hear from you. Just if there's a pilot that you want us to watch, if it meets the criteria, we'll be happy to move it up on the charts and watch it. Let us know how we're doing. Tell a friend.
Tell an enemy, right? Tell a phone. I don't care, right?
Telegraph.
Oh.
Chris McGrath.
Oh.
He's on the new Celebrity Big Brother.
I don't know who that is. Is that a country singer?
No, it's the guy, lead singer of... was the
Sugar Ray?
Yeah.
That's Mark McGrath. You say Chris.
Joke bombed.
I thought, Chris McGrath very well could be like a country singer, too.
I think he's a BMX rider or something. But I digress.
We surely do. CouchPilotspodcast.com. Just, go there or be square. Go there or be square.
Yeah, it's not a square space.
What's that guy, Huey Lewis? He said it's hip to be
square. Bum, bum, bum. Hip to be square.
Show us built on the back of
money, even in a Zoom.
Now,
on TV.
Look, I love Huey Lewis. And
I love you.
All right. Very good. Anything else you'd like to say to our frequent flyers?
No, I don't want to bother him. I just thank you everyone for listening. If it was your first time, welcome. If it was your last time,
that's fine.
So you wouldn't want to be here.
Then you're going to miss out on wonderful content like this going forward.
Check out all the old episodes. Got 120 or so of them.
We sure do. This is episode 117. Ooh, fantastic. That's it. Is that everything you want to say?
Yeah, I'm good.
I want to say, thank you everyone for listening. Please tell a friend. It really does help the show out. We appreciate it. Yeah, contact us in one of the many ways that you're allowed to do so, or maybe even find an illegal way to contact us.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'd be in.
Go on the Blake Web.
I don't press charges. I tell you that much. I won't press charges. Go on the Blake Web. Find a classically black link, right? Something poisonous and venomous, and get
cold.
A hold of us. Ooh, dark in the dark cold void that is the Blake Web. Blake Web.
I did a good job on the show, didn't I?
Did we properly rate the pilot?
Is anybody going to listen to this?
I don't know if I want to check the numbers after this.
I want to die.
And with that, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always just...
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.